Things change over time, but one thing has stayed consistent. Celebrating 30 years on the air on WROI is the first federal program. Hosts may have changed, but the program is still the same. Now continuing a long-standing tradition, streaming on the First Federal Facebook page and on WROI. It's time for the First Federal program.
And a good Friday morning to you, November the 22nd, as we welcome Tanner and Todd to the program. Good morning.
Good morning, Randy. How are we doing?
Hey, doing great.
Morning, Randy.
Todd, how are you?
Great. We have special guest Brian Johnson here today, friend of the show.
Yes, very good friend of the show.
He's famous here at the radio station.
It's not his first rodeo.
No, it's not his. He's almost as normal as I am.
Well, we got our first little inkling of snow yesterday.
It's funny, around the area, it varied very much.
Yes.
I was south yesterday, and they had no green grass showing.
You're right.
Kokomo was pretty white.
Yeah. I know a lot of my friends live in the Indianapolis area. And I was
Yeah.
seeing their pictures on social media. I'm like, wow, that's a lot more snow than got up in northern Indiana, northeast Indiana.
They can have it.
Yeah,
I'm not ready for it yet.
I'm right there with you.
I'm not ready yet.
Yeah, I watched the IU basketball game last night, and Robbie Hummel was talking about they had travel problems getting there last night.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, kind of did hit differently across the
And
state.
there was some games, boys games that were scrimmages and stuff that got postponed, and some other area shifts around. So yeah, it was
That time of year, I guess, starting to be.
It's an AD's nightmare, is
Yeah.
what I like to call it, because especially this early in the year, if things are starting to have to get moved, makes it interesting.
Yeah, but it's definitely that time of year. If you park your car outside the garage, like I do, make sure you're getting it warmed up a little bit early, getting
A little icy.
getting a little ice off there. I had to borrow my wife's ice scraper this morning. I couldn't find mine. It's somewhere, but I thought it was in my car. But
Sounds like a great first federal gift there.
Yeah,
you
there's probably a closet full of those somewhere.
There probably is. One of our branches, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to maybe try to find one.
There you go.
Or dig under the front seat. That's probably.
I was looking under there, but I also was like, I gotta get going. So, all good.
It always comes up when you're least ready. I mean, it always hits you. A few days ago we were talking 50s and everything else. So wake up and
there it is.
You're not ready.
Mother Nature. I got some trivia with me this morning. It is related to state of Indiana, basketball.
Oh, well, it might be a little better there.
NBA, a little bit of everything there. So, in what year did the Fort Wayne Pistons move to Detroit?
Ooh.
1957, 1963, 1968, or 1975?
Did you know the Fort Wayne Pistons were the?
Yes, I did know they were in Fort Wayne.
And they're part of the On This Day today. That's why it ties in with the trip. It's an interesting little fact in On This Day when we get there. But a lot of sports going on. You were mentioning the high school boys having scrimmages. Of course, their season starts next week.
It does.
For a lot of schools at least. But girls basketball has been underway now for a couple weeks. The Rochester girls got a win last night to improve their record to 4-1 on the season.
It's a great start.
Yeah.
Played Peru Tigers, got the conference started with a win, so that's always good to get a win in the conference.
Absolutely. Got another conference matchup going on tomorrow night at Rochester over here against McConaughey, who's 3-0.
Braves coming to town.
Sounds like a good game.
Yeah, it will be. It will be a good matchup. 7 o'clock tip-off, but it's going to be a busy day because wrestling, they got boys wrestling tonight at the high school, and then girls wrestling
Is that the start of the season?
Yeah.
Okay.
The boys are starting the season tonight, yes, and the girls, they're a couple weeks into their wrestling season, so they got a big tournament there tomorrow. So busy day at Rochester.
Varsity game start at 7?
Yes. Yeah. It's only a varsity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck to Coach Wilson.
Yeah.
His first year as the Rochester Wrestling head coach, so should be an exciting season there. But and then McConaughey was coached by Rochester resident Ray Davis.
Yes.
So
former Zebra coach.
yeah, Zebra assistant, and he's been coaching for years all over the place.
Yes.
A lot of experience there with him, so that's gonna be a fun matchup. Mississippi Valley is a record of 2-3. They host John Glenn tonight. The Falcons are 5-0.
Yeah.
It's a real good start to the season for them.
That's a conference game, I believe, too, isn't it?
Yeah, it would be now.
Yeah. In that conference with
Yeah, that's
Valley
good.
now,
Yep,
yeah.
yeah.
I know. I got to remember
yeah,
that too.
it's-
This first year, it's like, wait a minute, yeah, that's
We're
a
getting
conference
used to them
game.
in college. Now we got to get used to them on the high school
Right.
side too.
Yes.
With the conference realignments. Caston's 2-4. They're off this weekend. Wintermack's off the 4-1 start. They travel to North White, who is 1-2. That game's tonight. Culver's 0-2. They host North Miami, who's 2-2. That's games tomorrow night. And Argus is 2-4, and they host Trinity Green Lawn, who's 0-4 tonight. So a lot of local area hoops action going on.
Yes, and then next week it really gets fun. 'Cause
Yeah.
The boys get going. So
Yep, it'll be a lot to recap.
yeah. Let's see. So Tuesday night we're back at Rochester with Tippy Valley, the girls on Tuesday night. Wednesday night boys open up their season with Culver, traditional
Yep.
Culver game
Before
here
Thanksgiving.
in recent, anyways.
Yep. Big week next week.
Yeah.
Tuesday and Wednesday night
Tuesday,
in high
Wednesday,
school.
and then Saturday back to the girls as they travel next Saturday to Winmack. So
There you go.
it's a busy week.
Busy slate though.
And then sometime in there we gotta squeeze turkey dinner in.
Oh sure, sure.
And the Bears Lions.
Yes, yes,
Traditional.
yes. Which
It's kind of neat how those traditionals happen around the holidays.
yeah, it is. It is. And they got a lot of college basketball and college football action going on around the state. College basketball, there's two games tonight going on. Butler, who's 3-1, hosts Merrimack, who's 1-3. That game's at 7 on Fox Sports 2. And Notre Dame off to a 4-0 start. They host Elon, who's 2-2. That game's at 7:30. Don't believe it's televised. Indiana got a win last night over UNC Greensboro to prove their record. I know they're undefeated by
4-0.
4-0.
Ran out to a
4-5.
very fast start. We're blowing them out, and then barely held on.
Yeah, kind of started picking at their food maybe a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
So easy to do against some of these teams in the non-conference sometimes. But and then Purdue was handed their first loss of the season at Marquette the other night. They host Marshall, who's 3-1 tomorrow at noon. That's on Big Ten Plus.
I always thought losses this time of the year kind of build character.
Yeah.
Well, especially when you get a decent.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
it was.
they go.
Marquette was definitely the better team
Yeah.
the other night. They had the best player on the floor. Yeah, Purdue just didn't play very well. They turned over the ball a lot compared to when they beat Alabama last week and only
Right.
turned over 3 times. So a lot they can learn and take away from
I'm
that
sure
game.
there's a lot of film coming out of that.
Yeah, I'm sure
Knowing
practice
Mr.
might not have
Gaynor.
been too fun on Wednesday, but
Purdue has trouble with bounce back games the last
they,
few years.
yeah,
It's like
they kind of do.
beat number 2 Alabama. Then
Coming off that high a little bit. And this was the first game it kind of really showed up where when the shots weren't falling and they're kind of sloppy with the ball, they don't have big Zach Edey to just dump it down to anymore.
Right,
So
yeah.
they're kind of have to work hard for their shots. But long season, I mean, I don't think there's any reason to
No.
panic anytime.
Oh no,
soon.
it's not like football, right?
No, football's been in panic mode for a while. The 1-9 record's not helping. They're in action tonight, though, at Michigan State, who's 4-6, fighting for their bowl lives here. Michigan State's a 14-point favorite. That game's at 8 o'clock on Fox. So it's one of those matchups before the season. I'm like, why is this game going to be on Fox
Yeah.
late November? Before I even saw either team play, I'm like, this probably isn't going to be a very good matchup come November. Here we are.
Yeah.
But
You never know.
never know. Maybe they can hang in there a little more than they did with Penn State and Ohio State the last 2 weeks.
At least they don't have a top-ranked team.
That's right. That's right. Michigan State's fighting for their bowl lives, and Purdue might be fighting for their coach's life.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out. Number 5, Indiana, arguably their biggest regular season game.
number
in program
5
history.
Indiana 10-0. Who'd ever thought
10-0,
you'd say
yeah.
something like that?
At number 2, Ohio State 9-1. Ohio State's a 10.5-point favorite. That game's at noon on Fox tomorrow. It's the big noon Fox game. It's College Game Day is going to be there in Columbus. So
It's going to be a pack.
all eyes of the
Yeah.
college football world will be on that one right away.
There's all kinds of lovers and haters out there.
No,
but the
there
thing
is.
I don't hear about is like nobody's questioning what happens to Ohio State if Indiana wins.
So yeah, I haven't heard that one
Yeah.
bit out of
Well,
any
they
talking
do not
nuts.
get in the Big Ten championship.
Right.
Well, they're 2 losses
Yeah.
and they're probably not even in the playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, say they lose a close game, they could make the argument. Well, our 2 losses are against
Yeah.
top 5
The
teams.
number 1 and number 2
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
at the top.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
Because,
it'll-
yeah, you don't hear anything
No.
like that talk. But,
No.
But I'm sure Coach Signetti's
well, they've had to buy a week to get
using
ready
some
for
of
the
that
game. So
motivation to get to his team
Yeah.
too, because everybody's talking, what happens to Indiana if they lose, not what happens to Ohio State if they win.
Well, it's interesting. Now the spread's down to 10.5. Earlier this week it was 13.5.
Yeah.
The spread's already out for the Michigan Ohio State game next week, and that's only a 10-point spread.
Yeah.
So they're giving Michigan more respect than
Yeah.
Indiana, because they're both at Ohio State, both
Yeah.
games. So.
Interesting.
And it doesn't totally
And Indiana
surprise
beat
me
Michigan,
because,
so-
like we were talking earlier, you know,
Yeah.
this is unfiltered ground,
Uncharted.
uncharted ground for
Yeah.
IU
Yep.
football.
Sure.
You know, now if this was basketball, might be a different story, but football, they're not used to this.
Right.
So
Well,
hopefully
it's the first
Coach
year
Sick
of the
can
12-team playoffs, so
keep it going.
it's all kind of new territory for a lot of things.
They fought against Brian Johnson, Nebraska, and Wisconsin.
Yes, at Nebraska. And the winner gets in the bowl, and the loser has to then beat the rival the next week to try to get in the bowl. So there's a lot of Big Ten teams right there with 5 wins trying to eke out it, because the Big Ten's so strong with the first 4.
Mm-hmm.
After that, there's quite a drop off this year. It's interesting. Notre Dame, number 6 in the country, 9-1. They're 14.5-point favorites against number 19, 9-0 Army. That game's tomorrow at Yankee Stadium at 7 o'clock on NBC.
Could that be a game at all, do you think?
I don't. I know Army's 9-0, but I think it's going to play a lot like when Notre Dame played Navy. I just think they're too talented across the board.
Notre Dame can get off the right start.
Yeah.
I think if Navy comes out and throws a couple punches early, then it might be a game.
Because
just because that's how
Notre Dame can't
plays.
afford to trip up the Navy or Army or USC next week.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that first quarter will dictate how bad it is. I mean, I guess you could say that of most games, but especially Notre Dame, because they tend to, if somebody throws a punch, they don't take it real well sometimes.
Right. And Ball State's 3-7. They host Bowling Green 6-4 tomorrow. That game's at 2 o'clock ESPN Plus.
Looking
Bowling
for a
Green's
new coach.
11-point favorite, and Ball State fired their coach since they last played Tuesday. So, I heard something interesting last night. The Group of 5 conference teams, there's been quite a few coaches who have been let go.
Mm-hmm.
The Power 4 conferences, nobody's fired a coach yet. Coordinators, yes.
Yes.
There's been no
Head
Power
coaches.
4 head coach fired yet. I don't know if that's going to be a new kind of trend going forward, to where they wait till the season's over, or I don't know. That was really interesting.
Yeah, I was shocked that Ball State did it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Got 2 games left.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would have hurt to finish out 2 more games.
I mean,
They're kind of an uphill.
everybody's philosophy is different.
Yep. They're kind of an uphill battle when they
Yeah.
go with NIL and the portal and everything. So
Yeah, your smaller colleges are
they're struggling.
Yeah,
Yep.
that'll be bad.
In NFL, the Bears are 4-6. They host the Vikings, who are 8-2. Vikings are 3.5-point favorites. That game's Sunday at 1 o'clock on Fox. The Colts, big win over the Jets for their playoff hopes still. They're 5-6 now. They host who I think's the best team in the NFL, the 9-1 Detroit Lions. We're a 7-point favorite. That game's also Sunday at 1 o'clock on Fox.
Yes. Colts, Bears fans, did you hear that?
Same time,
Fox.
same TV channel, Fox at 1 o'clock. So,
not
So you're missing one of
CBS.
the games then.
so
Not CBS.
if you like both teams, maybe find the Bears game and then listen to the Colts game right here.
Exactly. You never have a problem. It's
Yep.
always here.
Yes.
So that's a good
Yeah, you take care of that aspect. So
Matt and crew will be on the call. So
yeah, so both those matchups should be pretty interesting games there. Got some tidbits here this morning. On this day, 1950, 7,021 people saw the Fort Wayne Pistons defeat the Minneapolis Lakers, 19-18
Wow.
at the Minneapolis Auditorium. That was the lowest combined score ever in NBA history. 37 combined points.
That's crazy
Yeah.
to think about. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like the first 5.
I know it was without the 3-point line,
Right.
but still.
That's like the first 3 or 4 minutes
Yeah,
of the game now.
Ugh. I don't know if it was a sloppy game of turnovers or just nobody could make a basket. I don't know.
Forgot to take the cover off.
Something like that. On this day, 1963, John F. Kennedy was assassinated. And Lyndon B. Johnson, of course, was sworn into office right after that. On this day in 1986, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in boxing history. He's been in the news a lot lately. He fought on Netflix last Friday night. I was one of the many that was trying to watch it and was having buffering issues, so I couldn't really watch it.
Did you get your money back?
Oh, they don't do that because it's just you get the fight for the monthly subscription. So unfortunately not. It worked all the way up till the main event for me, and then it just.
Everybody else
But
got
I
it.
heard
Capacity.
this morning there was 108 million people trying to watch that fight
Yeah.
worldwide.
That's
And
crazy.
Netflix anticipated about 60 million. They didn't
Ooh.
think it was going to happen, so their servers really struggled to keep up.
Yeah, they might rethink that before the next big one.
Well, they have the NFL game coming up on Christmas Day.
Ooh.
One of the NFL's.
Suppose they're calling for
I don't-
little bigger servers
I
now?
don't remember who's the matchup, but it's the first ever game on Netflix, so they're
That's
gonna have to
interesting.
get their kinks figured out before that.
Yeah. Server City
Yeah.
will be getting called there.
Yeah, I doubt 108 million people will be watching an NFL game, but I mean that was just mind-boggling. It was an event. It wasn't just a fight. It was an event. But Mike Tyson looked his age, 58, and ended up losing to Jake Paul.
Yeah, I heard most people say the women's fights were more
It was
entertaining.
the
than
women's
NXT, yeah.
fights were really good. The main event was not worth staying up for. So. On this day, 1995, Toy Story was released.
Wow.
It
One
did
of my
so.
favorite movies. It's a great movie.
Classic.
Classic.
Tom Hanks, and Tim Allen, and many others. It did so well. They've released 3 more since. There's been 4, I believe 4.
Yeah, there's another one in the works.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So they've done a great job with that series. And on this day in 2016, the Las Vegas Golden Knights were revealed as the NHL's latest expansion team. They've done really well for themselves and even won a Stanley Cup.
Cool.
So,
Makes it worth it.
yes, it does. Got some upcoming events going on. We got the Turkey Trot going on tomorrow morning. It's taking place at 9:30 here in Rochester at St. Joseph Catholic Church. $20 the fee to get in that. So it's usually a pretty good turnout from what I've
Good turnout, go for a run, get some soup, support the Trot for a cause.
There we go.
And get your workout ready for turkey then, right?
Yes.
There you go. Burn those calories.
Burn them early.
We also have the Fulton County Animal Adoption and Education Centers hosting their Thanks for Giving silent auction. It's already started yesterday afternoon. It's running through Sunday evening, this Sunday evening, the 24th. There are around 100 items you can bid
Wow.
on, including a Roku TV, multiple Kate Spade bags, Corinthian Bell wind chimes, home decor, gift cards, pet items, gift baskets, and there is a helicopter discovery flight at Plymouth Airport.
That's fun.
So some pretty neat things to bid
As
on.
long as you like to fly.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't like, maybe one of those other gifts is more.
You can always make a donation still.
Yes. So a great event they do every year. They do a great job of collecting great items to bid on. So,
One other quick event here, the Miracle Treat 2024, sponsored by Mill Creek Church and Rochester School Corporation. The tree's out at Shepherd Chevrolet already, so you go out and choose a family. The gifts are due back by Wednesday, December 11th at 4 p.m., so that's always a great cause. We were out there the other day, there's lots of names on the tree, so it's a great thing to do at Christmas to support our community and support a family.
It's always neat to see too as you get closer to December 11th when they start arriving that
oh yeah.
they take over the showroom.
Oh, they really do. Yeah, yeah. Bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, the bank today we're open from 8:30 till 5. And tomorrow from 8:30 to noon. We'd love to see you come in at any of our 6 branches. If you can't make it in, you can always bank with us online and with our free mobile app. Our ATM is open 24/7 as well if you need some cash. And we're part of the Money Pass Network, so if you're traveling over the weekend, maybe you're getting to your Thanksgiving destination a little early, and you're in the need for some money, and you're in an area that you know we don't have a branch, so you're thinking, I can't get money from a First Federal ATM, no worries, go to moneypass.com. You'll see what ATMs are on the Money Pass Network in your area, and you can use that, and you won't get charged a surcharge fee.
Great deal.
We also offer Simply Free checking accounts and Simply Free business checking accounts. Right now, when you open up a new checking account, you get a free gift, which is a massage pillow, which is I will be the spokesman for this one. It works really well. So
Great for watching football.
it is. It'll put you to sleep if you're not careful. We also offer many different mortgage products. Contact Ben Dalton or Stacy Wilson at our Rochester branch and Winamac branch to get pre-approved today and see how they can help you and your family with your mortgage lending needs. We also offer commercial lending for businesses. Contact Zach Ruger for more information. His direct line is 574-223-1731. And if you think about retiring, want to check on your 401k, maybe move a 401k over from one employer to another if you got a new job, IRAs, those type of things, to contact Mark Blueball or Brian Bell for our financial services department. They'd be happy to help you out there. Direct line is 574-223-1705. And keep up to date with the latest going on at First Federal Savings Bank by liking us on Facebook, following us on X and Instagram at FF Banking is our handle on those two platforms. Like us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which you can find an archive of First Federal radio shows from the past 5 or 6 years. We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We're FDIC insured, equal housing lender. Our NMLS number is 399927.
Makes it illegal, and now the fun part of the
Exactly. The meat of the show here. We got Brian Johnson, who's the Fulton County Community Foundation Director of Development. Morning, Brian.
Thanks for having me this
Thanks for
morning.
joining me this morning. Always appreciate it. So, Brian, how many years have you been with the foundation?
So I've been involved with the foundation for 17 years.
17 years.
Pretty cool to see all the great things. I love being able to see the impact that people are making throughout the community with volunteers. A lot of the organizations that we support are volunteer-led, volunteer-run. Most of them are entirely volunteer, and also the financial support that we can provide for those organizations. It's just a really cool thing to make you feel good about our community.
And I'm sure you've seen many different changes over the 17 years that you've been with the foundation.
Yeah, we have, and you think about some of the things that we're standing in downtown Rochester right now. We can walk up and down the street and see things like a historic theater.
Mhm.
One that I always point out is Compassionate Health Center. When I started, the conversations were going on about that, and we now literally have an organization that saves lives in our community every year. So it's really cool, and that was there is some paid staff there, but that was entirely volunteer led and started, and just an amazing thing when you look around the community. Things like volunteer fire departments, and volunteer sports leagues, and just all these amazing things we have surrounding us.
Well, you know, it's an old saying, it takes a village.
It
And it
does.
really does,
It does.
especially in a small
Yes.
community, and volunteering is such a key aspect of that. But every year the foundation does their Giving Tuesday event.
Yes, yeah, that's coming up. So once you're done with turkey on Thanksgiving, and maybe the day after and the day after that, and of course we've got Black Friday and small business season that's coming up. Small business Saturday. Giving Tuesday is kind of a worldwide philanthropic encouragement for folks to make donations to their favorite charity, whether it be a local organization like the Community Foundation or the Animal Center, or an organization that serves around the world. Kind of kicks off the season of giving, so it's always the first Tuesday after Thanksgiving. We've turned that into a celebration of what the foundation has been able to do over the past year. Come in, listen to WROI live on WROI.
We will be there in a couple hours.
We'll have some interviews, but we celebrate at the Community Foundation office. Start the morning about 10 o'clock, have lunch from 11 to 2, and go till 5:30 that day. And it's just a way for us to celebrate and say thank you to everybody who's been involved, whether it be donors, whether it be individuals and organizations who have made a difference in our community. It's our way of celebrating all the good things that we've done over the past year, and celebrate those successes. A lot of times we see those checks being handed out and pictures of that, but it's really neat to see the other end of it when you start thinking about, oh, this is what that money did, and this is what these volunteers have, how they've made an impact in the community over the past years. And invite everybody to come out December 3rd, 10 to 5:30. Come hang out with us, learn a little bit about the foundation. If you're looking to start your holiday giving season, if you have that person that's difficult to buy for, I have a few folks that say, if my family gives me one more thing, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. So please make a gift in my honor to a fund at the foundation. So it's a neat opportunity to learn a little bit more about the foundation and see the impact that we've had over the past year.
And what's the foundation's address for somebody listening that might
So
not know?
we are 227 East 9th Street, 2 doors down from First Federal Savings Bank.
There you
Little
go.
plug there.
There you go.
Brian, you can, you're talking about donating to funds and that, but if
Yeah.
somebody wants maybe to honor someone as well, they could
Yeah.
they could start a fund.
Yes, we have a lot of folks that have created funds in honor or in memory. We have a lot of families that have created family funds. One thing, of course, I'll mention, Lilly Endowment has given us the opportunity for a $2 for every dollar donated match for community funds. The caveat is that we can only raise $375,000 there. I say only because we're getting close to that number. So if somebody's out there listening and say, hey, I'd like to start a community fund, and they want to do that, now is the time, because I don't think we're going to make it to the end of the year with any matching dollars left. But that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
And then Lilly matches that with $750,000, and we have additional dollars every year to grant. But yeah, a lot of times folks say this was an important community to somebody, or they have a specific cause that they want to be able to support, and those funds can help remember those folks or honor them and keep the memory alive and do good things in the community as well.
So what's the process if somebody's never been to a Giving Tuesday event at the Community Foundation? What's the process of them coming to the event? What can they expect if they want to come?
Well, first of all, if you come between 11 to 2, show up hungry.
Yeah.
We'll have lunch.
Good food too.
Yeah, and it's really, we've turned it into an informal time. Come whenever you're available. We have information out about some of the things that the foundation has done over the past year. Kind of an exciting time to see everything thrown into one pool. I was looking yesterday, and we've made over $1 million in grants and scholarships
Wow.
in Fulton County year to date.
That's great.
The year's not quite over, but when you think about $1 million going into our local organizations and students and needs, that's pretty cool. So you can just stop by, come have lunch with us. We'll be available. We do, I mentioned the Lilly match. We also have a couple of additional matches thanks to Rex and Chris and Matt out at Rapid View for the Outlet Youth Center. And they are matching dollar for dollar up to $20,000 for that endowment fund. And then you mentioned the Fulton County Animal Center, awesome organization. I have 2 graduates of the Animal Center at my house right now, and we love. They have a dollar for dollar match up to $10,000 for those endowment funds that support both of those organizations in an ongoing way. So if somebody's interested in either of those, of course we call it Giving Tuesday, but it's really a Giving Tuesday campaign. So if you can't make it on Giving Tuesday and say I want to participate in this, you can do that. If you just want to find out more information about the Community Foundation, if this is the first time you've ever heard of the Fulton County Community Foundation or Northern Indiana Community Foundation, it's a great day to stop by and just say, what do you guys do? Because a lot of times folks may have heard our name but don't really understand the fact that we can help provide support for all these important organizations around the community. So really an informal time to get together and celebrate, say thank you to all the donors that have made these grants possible, say thank you to the organizations and the people that make these great projects possible. So it's really a great day of celebration, so everybody's welcome to stop by.
And who's the lunch vendor? Where's the multiple lunch vendors?
Well, I can say it's going to be barbecue.
All right. All right. There we go.
That'll give you a
There we go.
little clue
There we
here.
go.
So anyway, but it'll be good.
It'll be good.
I love barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
I may have been a little biased on that
No,
choice.
no. So one more time, Brian, what's the hours of the Giving Tuesday?
Yeah,
on
so
December 3rd?
it'll be December 3rd, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. We'll have lunch served from 11 a.m. until 2. Love to have folks stop by. Our office is located 227 East 9th Street here in Rochester. If you can't make it in, we do have the option to make gifts online. NICF.org, you can see a list of all the funds, information about the matches that are available, and you can also check us out on Facebook, Northern Indiana Community Foundation. We serve Fulton, Miami, and Stark counties. Information about all 3 counties and 3 communities celebrating Giving Tuesday. But we'd love to see folks or hear from folks and help us celebrate the really amazing things that our donors have helped us do over the past year.
Well, it's going to be a great event. It seems to get bigger and better for you every year, which is exciting.
Yeah.
So thank you for everything you do for the foundation. Thank you for everything you do for our community here in Rochester and for Fulton County.
Yeah, it's like you said, it takes a village, it's a group effort. There's a lot of folks, whether it be folks that have given of their time to help do projects, their knowledge, how do I do something, their funds to help support financially these projects. It's really an awesome community to be part of, and we're just so fortunate to have everything around us that we do, and the donors that make all these things possible. So pretty awesome.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks for having me.
And you can take a stab here at the trivia question
It will
if
be
you'd
a
like.
staff.
In what year did the Fort Wayne Pistons move to Detroit? 1957, 1963, 1968, or 1975?
We'll go with 68.
I'm gonna go 63.
63?
57.
57? Todd is correct.
Oh,
1957. The Pistons were founded in 1937.
okay.
Played 20 seasons in Fort Wayne and then moved to Detroit in 1957.
Cool.
There you go.
All right.
And let's close with some words of wisdom by Oprah Winfrey. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never have enough.
Todd, Tanner, Brian, thanks for coming in. We'll talk to you again next Friday morning.